Testing, testing. 1, 2, 3. How you doing, everybody? Gladdy Jack here. This isn't my normal, Brody discussion that I've done, well, all of twice now. Instead, today, I'm gonna rant. Welcome to CJR, Cloudy Jack Rants. Don't know if that's actually gonna stick, but it was what I'm gonna use now. So, the U.S. government has shut down today. All because Republicans want a law to be held back a year, and that did get passed last night. It goes into effect today. Congratulations, it's gone into effect. They lost, as was shown on Willie Wonka would say. You get nothing, you lose. Good day, sir. Yeah, they're still going to fight for something today. I'm pretty sure they will, but this is absolutely ridiculous with the government now. It was a good idea back in the days, but over 200 years, over 100 different groupings of Congress and assholes later, we come to this conglomeration of mindfuckness. And it gets under my nerves. Under them, scraping with the Wolverine claws, going shh, shh, shh. It's ridiculous, people. And I'll be frank with you. We're as a society, we are far too advanced to deal with this shit. Obviously, people go, this shouldn't happen in a democracy. Well, we're not a democracy. We're a republic. We're ruled by representatives. And you know what? We need to cut some of those representatives out. We have technology. We get. It used to be. We wait months for the Electoral College to find out who our president is. Now we watch Fox News. We can find out as it happens, as the votes are counted and called in. We find out in a tenth of the time it used to. And if we voted online with, like Dancing with the Stars, American Idol, and all these other craptastic reality shows, we could find out within minutes, freaking minutes, on whether something passes or not. And I have a feeling it would be so. We would have more results, more informed people. Will we get rid of all representatives? No. I'm not saying we get rid of all of Congress. We will need ones to come forward, get it into the legal definitions that we need so they actually become laws. And also simplify it enough where we can understand it. Because I've read over the Affordable Care Act. I'm at a loss, guys. And I read 4 languages. That one's past me. But, yeah. We get a few representatives, 2 per state. House of Representatives should equal Senate. Not be opposed, equal. And we just get them to do that. And then people can vote through the computer. Do you agree with this? But yes. No. Our voices be heard. Now, to be honest, the idea of that does kind of frighten me because, if we've listened through democracy, true democracy, the entire way through history, there would be no, I mean, we wouldn't be what we are in America right now. Sometimes the representatives speaking against our wishes make things work. Defense of Marriage Act, the 15th Amendment, if I'm remembering the number on that. Oh, Prohibition went through despite the American people's wishes, but there was enough of them where it seemed popular at the time. I guarantee you, take away alcohol from Depression era people, they weren't happy. So, well, I'll admit it. The federal government shutdown isn't a immediate impact on me. It wasn't a meteor coming to my head. I knew it was coming. They were using it as a betting chip. Eventually, it was time to throw it in. But I could just think of the people who work at the federal parks and museums in Florida. I mean, I got friends who work down in the Everglades National Park. We have hundreds of federal museums around here, and those people can be furloughed until the jackanapes up in Washington decide to come up with a budget. That means no check for them. And if they go to November for it, without this budget being passed, people who collect Social Security, who rely on the government to live because they cannot work anymore, they're going to be possibly 2 weeks without a check. And I go through with as little as I can. I mean, I got a bed, I got a computer, I get enough food. Just living without money on hand, And then 2 weeks. I mean, people pay rent with their money. That's the biggest thing. And if they're not able to pay for 2 weeks, guess what? That's more money that's owed to them, to the landlords, because even the most gracious of them have a 10-day holdover period or whatever. Grace period, sorry, that's the right word. And 2 weeks, 14 days, that's over that 10-day period. So people are going to have to pay more on their rent. Oh, it's not that that's not even their fault. Car insurance payments required with that money. Florida, you are required to have car insurance on your car to drive. If these people don't get checks, they don't pay for their car insurance, they're not going to be able to drive at all until they get their check. And I know a lot of people probably will get in the car, get on the road, go to work and do whatever without insurance. First time they're caught, that's more money out of their pockets to the police when they're caught. Driving without a license, driving without insurance is $105 in my county. And that's if they don't just haul you off right there. Food is also another thing. You can't go 2 weeks without eating. You may have a stockpile. Well, unless you have, those extreme couponer stockpile. You're not going to have a stockpile that goes for a month and a half. Or 2 months. I get about like $200 of food a month. And that final day, the day before I get the next $200 to go get me food, I am literally looking at a box of macaroni and cheese, wondering, should I eat it for lunch or save it for dinner? I'm straight up with you. And, you know, not a lot of people have that stockpile. And not a lot of people who work for the federal government, who are in these furloughed positions, are by themselves. Many of them are mothers and fathers, brothers, sisters, children looking after their parents. In fact, there are very few single people working for the federal government in these positions. And these congressmen, they play this like a trump card because they're still getting paid. Their asses are still getting paid for doing nothing. All they do is talk. 26 hours talking, and the guy gets paid more than the federal employee whose job is on the line from their talks. That congressman for that 26 hours gets paid the same amount that the employee who's currently furloughed would have gotten the entire year. I don't even. And news is another thing on this. All of them are going, well, who will blink first? No one needs to blink. The Republicans need to get their heads out their asses and pass the fucking budget. I am starting to get into curse words. This is a little frightening for me. I mean, fortunately, my my representative voted to get it passed so we didn't have the government shutdown. He's one of the few Republicans that voted with the Democrats. And I gotta say, I'm going to vote for him again. But for all of those you who are listening to me, look up in your area. Look up to see how exactly your representative voted last night. October 29th, you can find it in the government congressional vote database. They have that online, easy to look up. Look for last night's vote and see who voted nay. Those who voted nay said, we are not doing this. This bill is crap to us. Make sure they do not get your vote when it comes back around to them. They're morons that do not need to be in it. And, it's really a house divided there. Because there was only 3 Republicans who voted with the Democrats and 4 Democrats who voted with Republicans. So look it up. Do your search. Make sure these assholes who shut down the government do not get back in. And I'm working myself up into a slight asthma attack. So I'm going to have to go out there and get a breathalyzer. Cloudy Jack out.